Hey guys, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another day in Spring Plannerthon. So today is the joint collaboration video that I do along with Robin. Robin and I have been doing this, gosh, I think since December or January when we started showing our reading videos together. But it's been a lot of fun. You know, doing something with a friend is always way more enjoyable than doing it by yourself. So here we go. Now, I purposely left in January and February because I want to do quick flip throughs on these. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. So in January, the books I read were Fourth Wing, Death by Dumpling, Dim Sum of All Fears, Murder Lo Mein, and Iron Flame. My favorite was actually Fourth Wing. Iron Flame was an honorable mention, which, you know what? We're going to add that. I still have that book cover because I printed it up. Yeah. That's an honorable mention. Honestly, Fourth Wing and Iron Flame were tied, so I'm wondering if I shouldn't just pop it up here somewhere. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I am actually right now currently rereading it on audiobook, and I'm actually enjoying it even more on audio than I did reading it. I'm getting so much more out of it. Maybe I'll do it this way. There we go. All right, so Fourth Wing technically was the favorite, but Iron Flame was definitely tied for that position. So I did 3 audiobooks, 2 print. I read 5 books for a total of 2,064 pages. This is the calendar that shows how long it took to read things and Libby. This you'll see start changing up in April because I'm actually running out of room over here. So in any case, that's how this worked out. And then, of course, January, the books loaned were these 3 for a total savings of $29. The 2 books I bought were Iron Flame and Throne of Glass for $66. Now, in February, I read The Sentinel, Assassin's Blade, Split Second, Our Game, Simple Genius, First Family, and Long Road to Mercy. My favorite was The Assassin's Blade, hands down. I mean, I enjoyed all the Baldacci books. They're amazing. But this one was hands down my favorite. So 4 audiobooks, 1 print, 2 mixed media, because 2 of them I was actually reading my physical copy as well as listening to on audio, and that was Split Second and Our Game. 7 books, 2,961 pages. There's the calendar, and you can see here, I've already had to shift this section because it's getting to be too full. So books loaned, there were 6 for a total savings of 90. Books bought, these were the books I did buy, much of which was at resale shops or like half-price books. Total spent was $114, but when you look at all the money I saved for what I bought, included with that, it was actually $208. So that's interesting. Now, on to March. So let's go ahead and just start updating this. So I wanted to mark at the top here that I am rereading Iron Flame. I am not counting it twice. I just wanted to mark that I am rereading on audio. It is not going to be double counted. But I did loan it, so, and it came actually faster than I thought. I was going to be doing April sort of as like a reread month for Iron Flame and Fourth Wing, and just taking that whole month to do that. All of my loans kind of came in at one point. So Iron Flame came in, To Tame a Highland Warrior came in from the library. Highlander's Touch, which is a tablet book, you know, ebook, came in at once. And so did A Minute to Midnight. So honestly, like everything came in all at the same time. And I ended up actually throwing Throne of Glass sort of to the side because I didn't even have a chance to pick up that book at all because I'm trying to get everything done by the time I have to return it. Iron Flame is due, I think, in 4 days from now, and I should finish it today. So the books that I read, Ugly Duckling, which is by Iris Johansson. If you haven't read that book, if you're into thrillers, you know, that border on romance and whatever, then you would probably enjoy it. Really good book. It's one of my all-time favorites. In fact, let me put the cover here under favorite while we're talking about that. Let's get that up here because this is where it's going for sure. There we go. That looks pretty straight. Okay, so that's the favorite. I also read This Matter of Marriage, which is by Debbie McComber. Both of those were by ebook. Now, I have copies of both of them, but they are paperback. And even though I wear reading glasses, you know, the print is so small, it still ends up staying sort of blurry. And they're also older copies. These are paperbacks that are, gosh, like 20 plus years old. So they're kind of discolored and kind of hard to read anyhow. So I did actually read them by ebook. But, you know, it's okay. It works. We did The Sixth Man. That was also another one in the David Baldacci series for King and Maxwell. Beyond the Highland Mist. I did start my Karen Marie Moning Highlander series because I want to get back into the Fever series, which is all about the battle with the Fae. And those are also really good. But there are many characters that are made reference to from the Highlander series. That's why I wanted to read this one first and then go into the other one. Again, I have all of these books. Many of them are paperback, especially from the Highlander series. So Beyond the Highland Mist, I'm trying to remember, was that audio or was that tablet? Well, it's on the next page. But I did borrow it to read. And then like To Tame a Highland Warrior, when I get to that, I'm still finishing it, so these two will go up in April. To Tame a Highland Warrior I got from my library, and then Highlander's Touch is an ebook. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a tablet version too. It was an e-version. King and Maxwell, which was audio. And then A Minute to Midnight. I'm enjoying the Atlee Pine series, which A Minute to Midnight is the second book in that series by David Baldacci. But I might give that a break just because you'll see when I show April, there are some things I'm going to change. Now, I did also try doing Absolute Power on audio. And I love the movie because that was the one David Baldacci movie for sure, and one of his first books that was made into a movie. It had Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, I'm trying to remember who else, Ed Harris. Really, really good movie, and I loved it. I could not get into the audio version to save my soul, so it ended up being a DNF, so I did not finish it. Now, I might try it another time to do it on like ebook, but I did not enjoy it on audio at all. So I think I got like maybe an hour into it, maybe, if that, and I ended up letting it go right away. So now this I'm going to update in a second here because I actually have, hold on, all my stats printed here. So let's grab this really quick. All right, and we'll go back to here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3 on tablet. I didn't do any print books this month. Well, I didn't finish any, put it that way. And I did 3 audio and no mixed media. So books read was a total of 6. And then pages turned was 2,607. And just as a side note, and I know I've said this before, but I actually count even my audiobooks as pages turned because to sit there and track hours listened to and pages turned would just be kind of a pain in the butt. So I just count it all that way. I just go back, you know, and look up what the amount of pages would be. Now, you can see here that this is where I'm totally running out of room. I didn't even get to finish writing down everything that I have, you know, loaned. There's still another loan here from Libby, and there's one from the library. It doesn't even fit here anymore. So I'm going to be changing things up in April. You could see Throne of Glass. I made a note to pick it back up in April. I put a little sticker here to mark my Iron Flame reread. Again, not being counted toward anything. Both Iron Flame and To Tame a Highland Warrior would be finished along with Throne of Glass next month. Now, since I've got that all updated, what I wanted to do was show you, I am actually going to be totaling these up off camera because I'm using my phone right now to record. So I will accurately calculate this once I am done. Now, another thing, I will put little probably asterisks here. These books I'm not counting as money saved because, again, I do have To Tame a Highland Warrior and Highlander's Touch. I have both of those in paperback, so I'm not accounting that as savings because I already have them in my library, personal. I did buy 2 books, which, by the way, I'm interested to say, not only did I buy only one from Barnes & Noble, which was kind of miraculous in itself, I also decided After watching Robin's video on her Book of the Month haul, I decided, because she did a couple of them recently, that I thought it would be fun to try it for myself. So the first book I got to join Book of the Month was A Fate Inked in Blood. And this is basically very Viking warrior sort of fantasy and romance. So I look forward to giving that one a read. And the goal is to read that one this month as well. So that one only cost $11, which is nice. Now, what I am going to do, since I've showed you all of these updates, we're going to move this out. And I'm going to show you how all of these will eventually move to the back of this section so that you can see the proper month through this clear tab. So let's now, since we are in April, put this in here. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but let's move these to the back of this section. So you can see this is where December is. We're just going to pop these right in the back. This way they all stay together. And if I need to look up anything from a past month, it's all still here. But now we're going to see April. So that is the proper tab. Now, I have already set these up so that when we are doing our updates, it can be a little bit more about what I've read and things of that nature rather than having to set everything up. I mean, I pretty much do everything the same way every single time. Now, what I did change is this books loan section. I'm going to kind of just make little tick marks for when I loan a book, whether it's the library or Libby. And I'm going to show you how I change that up on the back of the sheet in a second. Books bought, I will probably make a small list here because I'm going to try and keep myself to one book that is not Book of the Month and then one that is Book of the Month. So that's kind of what this section's going to be. And since I'm only using little like hash marks up here, I won't need a lot of space. I've already written in the Highland Warrior and Iron Flame. I do want to finish up my library loans, which also includes Highlander's Touch. And then I do want to finish my own personal book, Throne of Glass. So that's kind of my goals this month. I'm not giving myself like an actual, number to read. I want to get these finished first. So on the back of here, instead of putting the books loaned and bought, I put that on the calendar, and then my Libby loans with the dates due will be here, and same thing with the library. Now, I don't know if I'm going to continue marking what I've saved. I might do that at the bottom. We'll see. But at this point, I think I'm more concerned with trying to keep this number in check. So I'm going to track the books bought and the cost from that. And I'm not going to be so much concerned with what I'm saving. But, the goal is to have a bigger section, obviously, of what I'm loaning. Now, let's move on to the rest of this. So there's nothing we need to do on this page because this is ultimately what's going to be sort of like the end of my 2024 reads. I have updated all of this. So you can see I marked DNF for Absolute Power. I did mark Reread under Iron Flame, so that's done. And then here, Goodreads goals. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So let me pull this back into the picture here. Okay, and so I have my markers. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we have 6 books to color in. 2 tablet, 1 audio, a tablet, and 2 audio. So that's the order I want to put them in because that is the way they were read. So tablet is blue and audio is green. So let's go ahead and do this quickly. And I just find outlining it first works better before coloring it in. So let's see, we need 2 tablet, right? One audio, another tablet. And then 2 more audio down here. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is just outline them first, and then I'll go ahead and color them in. All right, so that's that one, and then we need 2 more here. The tips on these sometimes are a little different. Like this one's a little thicker, so I'm having a harder time. we go. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and just color these in. So what books have you guys been reading? Anything interesting? I'm always looking to add to my list of books to read. So you should always write down below, you know, comment down below what you've been reading, because I would definitely love to hear. And let me know if you're enjoying it. In fact, have you guys read, have any of you read A Fate Inked in Blood? I'm curious to see what your opinions are on this. I'm going to try and get this one in this month. If I don't fit it in April, though, because I'm finishing everything else, then that will definitely be a book to read for me in May. But I'd be curious to hear your opinions on it. I just got my notification this morning. Today's April 1st. I just got my notification that the new books dropped for this month on Book of the Month. So I'm going to probably be choosing those today. I haven't yet, though. Okay, so that's fully updated. Let me go ahead and put my markers away for now. All right. And then what else do I need to... Okay, we need to do this. So let me get the marker back out. And let's see, we did 2,607 pages. All right, and that's a total of 6. Okay, so that's done. Now, oh, I have these stickers I want to put in. So let's see. These are my favorite characters I wanted to add. Now, I will be adding Taryn, Andarna, and Sigale, because after hearing on audio their voices and their sarcasm and the way they've developed those dragon characters, they are definitely 3 of my favorites in that book series. So I will be getting them added. I will probably add them next month because I want to pull up pictures of the 3 of them. It was a decision I made this morning and I didn't have an opportunity to print up those pictures. So I'm going to do a little research on that. So we're going to add here Adam Black. This is one of the characters out of the Highlander series. And then we're also going to add Nicholas Tannick and Nell Calder. They are both the main characters in The Ugly Duckling from Iris Johansson. I think they are really well-rounded characters. I really enjoy them. So we're going to put them in here. Obviously, if I, you know, am rereading these books constantly over and over, that tells you a lot right there. Okay, so those are added. I'm going to save the sticky note because I'm going to rewrite that for next month to remind myself that I need pictures of Taryn, Andarna, and Sigale. All right, now we're going to go to the next section. Oh, and you'll see here, I did add Violet as well. The more I'm, you know, reading her character, the more I'm starting to enjoy it again a little bit more. Sometimes it depends on the mood and I kind of have to rethink things. But yeah, she's definitely a strong character. So I've updated all my favorite quotes. So those are here. I am considering next month, I might be making almost like a waterfall tab, another section of Dutch Door, so that I have more space. Because as I'm writing in, this is only through March. And I'm like halfway used up. So I definitely need a little bit more space. So I'll probably be adding to that. Same thing with the first lines. These are only from hardcover. So, well, actually, this one was from tablet, and so was this. Oh, the reason I did these, because even though they were tablet, I do have those physical books. So if they weren't so aged and hard to read, because they're tiny paperbacks, they're not even like the bigger trade packs, paperbacks, they're like the mass market. So they're the super small size. I would have read those in my own book. I wouldn't have even, you know, loaned those. So that's all updated. My TBR has been updated. Everything is in here. I have decided how switch I'm going to push to October because I feel that's going to be a more appropriate time to read it. And I might even do the Nora Roberts series at that point as well. Okay, here we go. So authors. So I have to add in Iris Johansson, Debbie McComber, and Karen Marie Moaning. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's for my Highlander series. Debbie McComber. I've only read a couple of her books. They're okay. I don't have a lot of them. But, you know what? Let me move that up. But the way I see it is, you know, there's always a favorite book you have, even if you're not like super, super keen on an author. She's a good author. I enjoy her, but I don't have a lot from her. Okay, so that's all updated. So that's all the authors. Now, this is kind of what I had done off camera last time because I wanted to see how I like this idea. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to draw in 6 books today. And then I'll probably wait to color them in because it does actually take a little time for this to dry. So let's go ahead. Let's see. What do I need? I need 4 thriller and 3 romance. So let's draw in some thrillers. So 4 thrillers, right? So 1, 2, 3. And let's do the other one flat. So there's my thrillers, and then we need 2 romances. So let's just do these flat. Well, no, let's do these standing up. The next round I'll do flat. Now, the Highlander series, even though those are sort of fantasy, to me those are primarily more of a romance book rather than straight out fantasy. So I'm just going to count these right now as romance. Now, when I get to the Fae series, the Fever series, I will be counting those as fantasy because to me, even though there is, you know, like a spiciness to them, to me it's more about the fantasy rather than, you know, it's more about the world that's created rather than the romance, where I feel like the Highlander books, to me, it's more about the romance than the world they're creating, if that makes any sense. So March was green, so let's go ahead, put my blue marker back. And let's see if this is dry. Okay, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and color these in green because it's March. So these I'm kind of coloring by month, where the other ones in the beginning I'm coloring by format. Okay, so that's that. And then, oh yeah, the 2 romance too. So that'll be good. I like the way this is turning out. This is something a little different. I'm actually going to be changing up this idea in my 2025 reading journal project that I announced the other day. I'm trying to think if it was like 2 days ago. So things will be changing up a little bit more in that book. But I'm kind of developing thoughts in this book and ways I'm enjoying things here. And I'm going to carry that over on a little bit of a different level into that other book for next year. So that is that. Now let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, so I wanted to show you. I did finally finish updating pretty much almost all of my books read that I had to transfer over from my other journal. So those are all in here. Now, again, and here this is something else I want to address. I'm not going to be setting this up in advance until the book is done, because now I haven't read this yet. I haven't finished it. I'm about, I think, a little more than a third of the way through, but not quite a half of the way through. But because I had all those other loans come in, you know, I had to kind of shift gears and go to those and put this on the side because this is my personal book. So, oh, I do want to put my little This Matter of Marriage cover here. Now, I did start marking these, but I will write the reviews later because sometimes it takes me a while to get my thoughts together and you know, what I enjoyed about a book. That's something I kind of like to do, you know, maybe after I've, you know, done a little audiobook or something. So, but they've been updated. I will keep track of like the DNFs, but they will not count toward my goal for the year, because I feel like if I haven't read it, even if I did start reading it, I feel like it doesn't count because I did not complete it. So these can all come up though, because I have all the information down. The dates are there, the stars, right? All that is updated. Pages, yeah, okay. So these can all come up now. But this is how I'll do it. I'll write things down on a sticky note. I'll put it where it's going to go in my reviews, and then I'll update everything. Now, I have not quite completed these, but I will get to that later. But for now, that's kind of it. So we are in April, and I'm looking forward to getting everything finished. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will talk to y'all in the next one, guys. Have a good one. Bye.